Hello, my name is Joshua. Welcome to another video on this another end of month video. It is the month of November. Again, I'm not recording this at the end of the month. It's November the 21st, but yeah, I have problems. Okay, let's just get into it. So the first film I watched was the 1970 film directed by Ridley Scott, that is Alien. At the start of this year, I brought the big Alien anthology box set. I haven't watched any of them until now. Yeah, but this is an absolute amazing classic film. The pacing is just so good. The alien just looks so good. The tension built up in every single scene is just so good. Acting is amazing. Score is amazing. Perfect film. 10 out of 10. I do think I watched the wrong version though, because there's two versions on the box set. There's the theatrical cut and the 2003 special edition. And I watched the special edition because I thought it's like an extended version with extra scenes. But then I looked online and I realised that it actually cut more out of the film than the theatrical cut. And there's people saying that it's destroyed the pacing compared to the theatrical version. But I think I watched the right version on Aliens, which is the sequel directed by James Cameron. I just think this is just as good. It's a completely different style to the first film, so it makes it so original. I like how it deals with Ripley's trauma after experiencing what happened in the first film, and she's been frozen basically for was it 70 years or something, and she learns her daughter's died and everything. And then obviously there's classic characters like Newton that introduces story. So many iconic lines in this film as well. Again, amazing acting. Great score. We got another 10 out of 10 on our hands, guys. And then we have Alien 3. I didn't enjoy this film as much as the first two films, but it was still quite enjoyable. I watched the special edition again for this film. I don't really like how they killed off Newt and all that. I really like the alien in this film. The practical effects on the alien in this film are really good, I think. I think they're actually improved over the last two films. The alien just feels more animated in that. On the other hand, the visual effects on the alien of him crawling up the walls and that, I don't know what went wrong with that, because they look terrible. There's also some weird editing choices, some weird cuts here and there. I do like some of the shots in this film, and I do think this film was directed really well. I think I'd give it a 7.5. And then I watched Alien Resurrection. Yeah, this film is not really good. It does have some aspects of a good film. I did enjoy some scenes in this. I had an enjoyable time with this because it's just a really fun film because it's just really crazy. Some scenes in this film were just so funny to me. There's some scenes which actually show signs of this film actually being good, like with the clone of Ripley, whatever, going into the room where all of her attempts were made to make her. I've worded that really badly. The practical effects were just amazing for one, and it's a really powerful scene. But apart from that, this was not the best film. I don't really like the crew at all in this film. Some of the acting was not very good. Okay, the clone of Ripley is basically like a superhero because she has a bit of the alien's DNA in her or whatever. I can't remember. She's super strong and everything now, and it's just a bit weird. The shots in this film are just so crazy. It always has this wide lens, this really wide lens, and it's constantly zooming into the characters' faces. It's just so funny. It's just cartoonish sometimes. This film, it wasn't very good. I'm gonna give it a 5.5 because it does have some signs of a good film. So last month I watched the Halloween films. I watched Halloween 1, 2, 3, Season of the Witch, and 4, The Return of Michael Myers. And I said in that video that I wanted to watch Halloween 2018, but it wasn't on Netflix, so I'd have to rent it on Amazon Prime. Well, I went to it on Amazon Prime and I watched it, and it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I like the modern take on this film now because there's podcasters in the film straight off. Really interested seeing Laurie as this old woman who's paranoid, and she's terrified all the time of Michael coming back and that. She's got weapons in a basement and that, and she has a secret hideout place and that. And I really like the 3 generations of the Strodes as well at the end, just battling out against Michael Myers. That was really interesting to see. Also, Michael is much more scary and intimidating in this film as well. I do like the humour in this film as well. There's some small bursts of humour in this film as well, which I don't think the previous films had really. So I'd rate this film a solid 8.5. I really enjoyed this. And then I watched The Cabin in the Woods. I didn't know what to expect from this film. I didn't know what it was about really, but my mind was literally blown with this film and how unique it was. I like the little meta humour things in this film. Also, I really like the characters in this film as well. I wasn't expecting the guy from Die Wimpy Kid, Roger Rules, to be in this film as well.
Do I smell pot?
You just need to go watch it. Just watch this film. I'd probably give this a 9. And then I watched the prequel to the 4 Alien films that I watched before, which is Prometheus. I really enjoyed this film. This is directed by the original Alien director Ridley Scott, so he had some of his style back in this film. It's a very slow paced and dialogue based film really, but it was still a really enjoyable film. I really like David's character in this film, the androids, and I also like the crew in this film as well. I don't really like that much how they try to explain literally everything that happens in the Alien films. So I like the mystery of the aliens in the Alien films. I think I'd give it an 8. I think it's a pretty good prequel. And then I watched Alien Covenant. I just think this is too dialogue based. It's really boring. The characters don't feel like they're as interesting. I can't believe they really cast James Franco in this film just to have him die in the first 2 minutes of the film, and we only see his face through videos. I wanted to see James Franco in this film, okay? I don't really like how David is the villain in this film as well. It's a bit weird. Overall, I'm going to give this film, I'm probably going to give it a 6.5. And then for Halloween Day, I decided to watch something that was a bit out of my comfort zone, that I was kind of scared to watch. So I watched Sinister. This was a very scary film. I may have violently excreted feces into my underwear. I didn't actually, but I did need the toilet multiple times. There's some great cinematography in this film as well. Obviously, the elephant in the room for this film is the jump scares, okay? There is some really effective jump scares in this film. The scaredy cat I am, I had to look up the jump scares on where'sthejump.com. Overall, this is a very scary film. I like the ending, but I'm probably not gonna watch it again because too scary for me. But this was a very well made film, so I'd give it a 8. And then I watched Dune Part 1. This was a film that everyone was talking about. I actually got the poster here from the Odeon cinemas when I was watching Eternals, which we'll get to in a minute. This is a really nice poster. I really like it. This is a very long film. I did get slightly bored. It's a lot of dialogue in this film, a lot of explanations and everything. It's a bit weird. There's this morbidly obese floating guy. I also think it was quite hard to follow at some points. Maybe I just have an extremely small brain. Some great cinematography, along with a really good script. There's so many famous faces in this film as well. I do think the CGI is really good in this film as well. I just wasn't as invested in it as some other people were. I'm sorry. I'd give this film 7. And then I decided to watch The Hunger Games. This is one of the worst films I've watched in my life. I'm joking. But I could not stand this film for the first 30 minutes because literally every single shot in this film was literally a shaky cam. But after 30 minutes, I got a bit used to it, but it was really annoying. Also, the editing, it's just all over the place. But apart from that, I did enjoy Katniss Everdeen's character, and the lead up to the Hunger Games was very interesting as well. Seeing this dystopian future. The Hunger Games itself, I did find it very action-packed and very interesting. The guy, I forgot his name, he was a good character, and I do like the twist where they both get out of there alive. Yeah, overall this was just horribly edited, horribly shot. I'll give it a 6.5. And then we have Hunger Games Catching Fire. I think this is a really solid sequel to the first film. 100% better than the first because no shaky cam, thank God. And no bad editing as well. There's some really good shots in this film. I love the first act of this film where it deals with Katniss and I forgot his name, dealing with the events of the last Hunger Games and the stress it's put them under, how they can't do anything normal anymore. And obviously Katniss has been thrown into the Hunger Games again. I do like the characters more in this film as well. The ending was a bit dodgy where she beat the Hunger Games by shooting the ceiling and breaking it, and then she fainted or something, and then she woke up in a ship and everything was a lie or whatever. I don't know. Obviously, it was on a cliffhanger, and obviously was setting up the next 2 films, which I haven't actually watched. I've heard mixed things about Mockingjay Part 1 and 2, so all around I would give this film a 8.5. I really enjoyed this film. And then I watched Dolemite Is My Name, another Eddie Murphy film. The other month I watched Life. But this was a really enjoyable film. I just love this film. This is just such a good comedy film about this guy, this stand-up comedian who wants something more. He's so ambitious. He wants to make music. He wants to make records. And then finally, he wants to make a film. It's just so satisfying to see him achieve his goals. And it's just so great to see. Eddie Murphy is such a good actor in this film. I didn't expect Daryl from The Office to be in this as well. And I didn't know till the end where it showed like clips from the actual Dolemite film that was based on a true story. I didn't even know that. It's just so good. I'll give this a 9.5. A really solid film, so rewatchable. And then I watched Eternals in cinemas with my father. I really like the visuals in this film. The visuals were amazing. It feels like a unique MCU film as well. I also think it does really well at introducing 10 new characters in the MCU. It's a 2.5 hour film, so it's quite a long time to take in these characters and develop the characters. There's a lot of explaining and dialogue in this film though. It does get a bit boring. Like I said, this is 2.5 hours as well, so I do think it's a bit long. It's the second most longest MCU film. I also think the pacing is a bit dodgy, like especially near the start, because it's a lot of jumping back and forth. Overall, pretty good film. I'd rate it a 7.5. And then, oh my gosh, this is just such a nostalgic film. Fantastic Mr. Fox. I decided to watch this because it's on Netflix. I just saw it and I was like, I really enjoyed that as a child. I'm probably going to enjoy it now. And this brought back so many memories. It's amazing. Such a unique animated film. Probably one of the best animated films of all time. I think it's up there with Spider-Verse, you know. Some amazing visuals and amazing unique shots in this film. Also, an amazing soundtrack. One of the most nostalgic things to me was hearing the soundtrack. And I think it fits really well with the film as well. Overall, it's just a 10 out of 10 film. So I've just looked at my list and I've got so many films left. And I've been recording for nearly an hour now. I might have to split this video into 2 parts.